Students, in biology, Kingdom Plantae, chapter number 9, you will study about plants. As you know, in Kingdom Plantae, as the name suggests, only plants are included. You can see the image of Bryophytes, which are non-vascular plants. So students, there are two kinds of plants. One are vascular plants which have xylem and phloem tissues, and those which do not have vascular tissues, xylem and phloem, are called non-vascular plants. So there comes classification of Kingdom Plantae. For convenience or ease, organisms included in Kingdom Plantae, like plants, they can be divided into two broad categories. Number one are non-vascular plants like Bryophyta or Bryophytes. Second one are vascular plants called Tracheophytes. That is, they have xylem and phloem tissues. Although this grouping is not according to any specific system of classification, but it does reflect or show similarities, dissimilarities among various plant groups. They may be similar or they may be not similar, dissimilar. Each category division is divided into smaller groups like subdivisions, classes, subclasses, and other taxonomic ranks. These are according to classification. So first we will discuss division Bryophyta, which are also called Bryophytes. Members of division Bryophyta are called Bryophytes. The first plants to colonize or occupy land were the Bryophytes. They are generally thought to have evolved from plants' green algae. They were having green pigment. You can see the picture of Bryophyta. The Bryophytes are poorly adapted to live on land and are mainly confined or limited to damp, shady places. That is, they love moisture, they need water. These plants are devoid of specialized, that is, they lack specialized conducting tissues, vascular tissues, xylem and phloem, and strengthening tissues. Only the process of diffusion and osmosis helps in transportation of water, minerals, prepared food, and some other substances whole through the plant. The water is absorbed by germinal plant surface. There came two processes for the movement of molecules. First is diffusion, that is, movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. And in osmosis, as you know, it is the movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to low concentration through semi-permeable membrane. So here only plant surface is included. Bryophytes are said to be amphibians of the plant world. Why? The reason is they can't live away from water. They need water for their reproduction. The Bryophytes are non-vascular. They don't have xylem and phloem tissues. Flowerless plants. They do not produce flowers. But these plants show two types of generations are there. One are spore producing called sporophyte, and the other one are gamete producing called gametophyte. They show regular alternation of generations. These two generations are different in their form and structure. Like one is spore producing sporophyte, other is gamete producing gametophyte. So they are said to be heteromorphic. Hetero means different, morphic means form, different forms. Morphologically different in their form, structure, and behavior. They have a dominant, independent, free-living gametophyte generation. This may be thalloid. Thalloid means ribbon-like, as in many liverworts, and it's differentiated or specialized into structures. As you can see in the pictures, mosses, liverworts are shown, resembling to stem, leaves, and absorbing anchoring organs, rhizoids in mosses and some liverworts. So gametophyte is a dominant generation. The gametophyte gamete producing generation then produces a sporophyte spore producing generation, which is less dominant or conspicuous generation. Partially, half, or totally dependent upon the gametophyte for its nutrition. So students, gametophyte is the dominant generation and the sporophyte is dependent on gametophyte. Sporophyte is not dominant. The gametophyte produces sporophyte, okay. The sporophyte generally consists of three parts: foot, seta, and capsule. These are sporophyte parts. The sporophyte is diploid to a complete set of chromosome which produces one kind of haploid spores by meiosis in structures called sporangia. These spores then germinate, grow, and they give rise to gametophyte, which is haploid generation. Sporophyte is diploid generation and gametophyte is haploid generation. Multicellular male and female sex organs are over there. Male sex organs are called antheridia, female sex organs are called archegonia. They are born on gametophyte, either on same or on different plants. These sex organs, antheridia male and archegonia female, they are multicellular and they are protected by a covering of cells which is sterile, that is non-reproductive. It is not involved in reproduction. Gametes, male and female like sex cells, they are produced by mitosis process. Male gametes, antheridia, they are produced and they are called as antherozoids. These antherozoids are motile, moving, and produced in large numbers. Female gametes archegonia are produced and formed within archegonia are termed as eggs. A single egg is formed in each archegonium. Then between male and female, fertilization occurs, and this occurs in water. Antherozoids, haploid, are attracted towards female archegonia in response to some chemicals. This is called chemotactically. A single antherozoid male fuses with egg female and thus completing or accomplishing fertilization process. It results in the formation of diploid zygote because one end and one end, they are fusing, uniting, and they are making 2N zygote. This zygote 2N diploid is retained within the female sex organ archegonium for some time. Then after a resting period, zygote develops through mitotic deviance and changes into diploid embryo. That is, diploid zygote will change into diploid embryo. This embryo ultimately or finally develops into a sporophyte, which is diploid. So there are two types of generations. One is diploid sporophyte, spore producing, and other one is haploid, gamete producing, gametophyte generation. The entire development of sporophyte takes place within the gametophyte plant body. As we have discussed, the sporophyte remains attached to gametophyte for its nutrition. Even when the sporophyte is fully developed, it remains attached to the gametophyte for nourishment, protection, and it doesn't contain chloroplast. They don't have green pigment, so they are unable to carry out photosynthesis, unable to prepare their own food. These are the reasons that sporophyte remains attached to gametophyte. There is an alternation of generation in the life cycle of plants, bryophytes, as multicellular haploid gametophytic generation, gamete producing, regularly alternates with the multicellular diploid sporophyte generation, spore producing. That is, this cycle continues. It is very important phenomenon or process which provides continuous genetic variabilities and selection for best genetic makeup for survival, adaptations in the changing environment, and these generations help the plant to live in different kind of environments. Finally, the definition comes: bryophytes are vascular system absent. Gametophyte is dominant, sporophyte is attached to gametophyte and is homosporous, same kind of spores. Homo means same and sporous means spores. Finally, the picture of bryophytes are shown. Different categories are shown like hornworts, liverworts, and mosses. Their pictures are shown. All are bryophytes, non-vascular plants.